A mortar bomb kills 2 SANDF soldiers in DRC. What are we doing there? Israeli forces enter the largest hospital in southern Gaza.
No vote, no container. No container. No container, no vote.
Desperate threat from Alexandra residents still homeless. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
2 SANDF members deployed in a peace mission in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo have been killed. A mortar bomb landed inside one of the South African contingent military bases, killing 2 and injuring 3 others yesterday. The wounded are in a military hospital in Goma. A mortar is an artillery weapon which fires explosives at targets at close range.
We can only speculate, but we don't want to speculate. We will have our investigators on the ground to determine all that surrounds that mortar landing inside our base.
The SANDF insists it's up for the task of the recently announced deployment to DRC, despite the controversy surrounding it. The presidency announced this week that 2,900 members will be heading to the DRC to assist in the fight against illegal armed groups in the country's east. This move has faced criticism, with the deployment coming at a cost of 2 billion rand, while installations here at home are in dire financial straits. Israeli troops have entered the largest hospital in southern Gaza. The Nasser medical complex is where thousands of displaced Palestinians have been sheltering. Many of them there have already been displaced from their homes and shelters in other parts of the Gaza Strip. Israel says that it was, quote, conducting a precise and limited operation. Gaza health ministers say, quote, the Israeli military had demolished the southern wall before storming the hospital. Now, this comes after the US signed off a $14.1 billion aid package for Israel. This also happened in the news today.
Corruption, as it has unfolded over the number of years, has also had a negative impact. Violent crime continues to plague communities across our country, and I have been clear and direct and honest about outlining all the challenges that our people are facing.
Dozens of Alexandra families have spent another night on the street after City of Johannesburg officials, backed by security personnel and police, forcefully removed the occupants from container houses. The containers were built at the height of the pandemic in 2020, but when no one was moved, some residents took it upon themselves to illegally occupy the vacant property. The city secured a court order to evict them. Sheltered under his mattress outside the now guarded container apartments, this evicted Alexandra resident has threatened to boycott the elections.
No vote, no container. No container. No container, no vote. One vote, one container. Yeah. One container, one vote. Please, make a plan.
Speaking on behalf of the community, Tabiso Dube says they'd hoped for proper housing for many years, and it seems the city is not heeding this call.
These people, since we were thrown out of the place, then they put the demarcations lines that we should stand there and watch those people coming out with all this furniture that you see here, throwing it outside. It was actually packed, all of it on that side. Then we all went there trying to find our things and fighting for our things.
The DA in Gauteng says it'll introduce wide-ranging lifestyle audits for politicians and officials if it gets into provincial office. The party described the province as a shell of what it used to be, stifled by persistent load shedding and bad governance. Earlier today, the DA's Gauteng leader, Solly Msimanga, delivered what he termed the true state of the province address. The event is a rival address by the official opposition party, which serves as a precursor to the official state of the province address, which will be delivered by the Gauteng Premier next Monday.
Not only do we push against lifestyle audits for politicians, but we also ensure that the officials that are found guilty are actually then prosecuted. Not only should we have officials that resign before so that they can avoid prosecution, but we have people that can actually then be prosecuted, including the politicians.
Msimanga says government corruption is at the root cause for the collapse of Gauteng. Eskom has met its deadline to reconnect electricity in a number of towns in the central Karoo and surrounding areas. Scores of families have been without power since the 3rd of February, when extreme weather conditions severely damaged critical infrastructure, including 7 pylons. Sutherland, Maatjiesfontein, Lanesburg, Ladysmith, Leagamka and Prince Albert are among the affected towns. The power utility says the first of 7 substations was livened just before 6 o'clock this morning, and the process of gradually restoring the supply to consumers commenced soon thereafter. Customers in the affected areas will be exempted from load shedding until the 26th of this month.
The electricity to the central Karoo towns and surrounding areas is fully restored today. The first substation out of 7 was livened at 5:52 this morning, and the process of gradually restoring the supply to customers commenced soon thereafter.
US President Joe Biden has again called for tougher gun control measures after a mass shooting at a Super Bowl victory parade. US media are reporting that players from the Kansas City Chiefs were still on stage there when the first shots rang out. The gunfire caused the crowd, including the city's mayor and his family members, to run for cover. Biden says the Super Bowl is the most unifying event in America, and the attack should move and shock and shame the nation to adopt rules to reduce the scale of gun violence in the country. And that's it from us. Don't forget to download the EWN app. You can find it at any app store. That's where you get the news updated 24/7. See you again tomorrow.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.